Okay, we're going to look for another Bitcoin opportunity. Before I do, I'm just going to go back. This was the last idea that I posted that went to Discord, it went to Telegram, and it went here. All right, so this was the idea. We're looking for the pullback and then break of structure, and I described how to get involved with that trade in that video. So I want to show you something really specific about this. So what I've marked up here is the 25th of May there. That's when I posted the idea, 3 a.m. You can see down the bottom of time. I'm going to show you something pretty special. Same chart. It's a 30-minute chart. This is it here. That's 25th, 3 a.m. See these signals? This is what you're looking for. Now we have another one here. See this buy signal flashing on right there in the circle? So this cluster is how you know when to get involved. In fact, what you need to do with this is just look for where you see, and you can try these completely free. Let them make money for you in the first week. All right. See the VM and the VA. When you see a VM and a VA in close proximity, it's a very high probability. And then especially when this buy signal kicks in. Right, so this cluster here is key, especially after that VM, VA. Just get involved right there. Yeah, I mean, that's what we've got. So you would get long, well, somewhere around here. Stop under the previous low down in here. Keep it tight, and there's 3R, depending on how well you manage it, right? So that's what we've got. We've got these signals that will help you make good decisions. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to look for another opportunity now. So I'll wrap this one up, and then I'm going to hit publish over here. And we're going to go to trading view. All right, so yeah, hang in there. I'm just going to do this, and then we start. And this is for trading view because I can't share the indicators in trading view. All right, so we're looking at Bitcoin. So what we're going to do in this video is look for another opportunity. This was the last one, as I mentioned. That was posted in here. All right, we were looking for the pullback and then break of structure. So look, if you're following this from a price action perspective, I'm just going to go to a candle chart. Bar chart. See how this pulls back and then it breaks structure? Actually, you can't see it. Let's go to candles. See how it pulls back and then it breaks structure? Well, you're looking for that break of structure. But if you've got a system that tells you when this is rotating, you've got it. That's exactly what you need. Anyway, so this was the idea, and opportunity to get long was in here, and away we go. Now there's other ways to get involved with that. You can include VWAP, volume profile. The VWAP gets you in a little bit later, okay, but that's a tool that you can use. Throw that on the low, you get this VWAP. Not always going to work. See, price pulled back through and took a dump, right? But generally speaking, if it's trending and it's going to continue, that's something that you can use, and also volume profile. Anyway, so we're going to have a look at the current situation. Let's just go out of here. Go to a 4-hour. What's next? That's the question. So this is taking a bit of a dive at the moment. All right, 4-hour. Let me just quickly have a look at it on the daily. Yeah, okay, so this is trading down now into this low. It might hold here, given that it's trading into that. All right, so we'll just grab a volume profile, anchored volume profile. Well, I'm just going to grab it, pull it through, say through here. Let's go down the time frames and we'll just get closer to it. Just want to pull that volume profile, yeah, through here. Just want to pick up this high and this low, this area. Okay, so we've got a bit of a move under here. That's bearish, guys. Look at this run on liquidity down. All right, my bias would be bearish given price action is heading south. Yeah, lower highs, lower lows. So what I'd be looking for here would be if we go to a 1 hour. All right, that's doing that. So see how it's traded through here. There's a reasonable chance that if we grab a fixed range, and I just want to take it, just want to pick this up here, volume profile. So you've got this area through here. this range. You can see volume profile high and low. And if this pulls back, I'm thinking, see this fair value gap through here, right? So it's pushed off. It's now range bound, and I'd be looking for this range. In fact, let's take that out. Go volume profile again. I'm just going to pull it through this range, right? You've got this sideways price action here. If it's going to go south, what I'm half expecting is it ranges high to the low to the high to the low. Fakey, shaky, right? The fakey, shaky chart pattern. A bit of a fake out. It draws in sellers. Then they run it back up in here to take that liquidity out. It's resting above the range. And it covers another job as well. It rebalances, right? So it covers this fair value gap through here. This is fair value up along here. And you got this now. So what price is doing is going to move from fair value and down, fair value and down, right? See this? After that, and down it goes. So I'm looking for something like that to happen here. So that's what I'm seeing on the chart at the moment. So I'd be looking to go short if that pulls back potentially. So, but what you need to wait for would be, yeah, I mean, just like this, look, it pulls back, all right? And then you get a break of structure. See here, look, under here. So that's where you're short right there, BOS. Okay, so it breaks this low and comes back into it. That's your opportunity to get into this short right through here. So I'm looking for this to, you got to plan your trades. I want to see it do that and then drop. And I'll be looking for much the same thing. Now, hang on, get rid of that. Okay, pull that back. Yeah, exactly the same thing. It's back in there. So we break structure, something like that. And that would be a BOS. So here's the thing. You can look for, see this range through here. See this range, the high and the low, the blue area up here. This is called fair value through here, right? It's a value area, volume profile, value range. And in a bearish, if you're looking for, bearish scenario, look for the break where you'd sell there, comes down, comes back up, you'd sell, comes down, comes back up, you sell. See what I'm getting at? So this is a value area fade back into value. It's a reclaim of value. All right, so the thing is this, it's trending down, right? You want to get involved in this trend when it breaks out of the value area high and then fades back into value right there. And then you catch that. So I'm always going to be looking, like if it pokes its nose through, to fade back down in a big downtrend, right? If your higher time frame bias is short. So whenever it pokes its nose through the higher the value range, like it did here, look for it to come back into the value range and then you sell. That's the idea, guys. It's called fading the value area. Volume profile, auction market theory, right? So that is a failed auction, comes back into value, fair value, where buyers and sellers are agreeing on price, right? And it'll wiggle from the low to the high of this thing a fair bit till it breaks out into price discovery. Hope that makes sense. So you've got a value range down here now. So what I want to see is it break above this value range. Look, see this down here? So I'm thinking maybe we get a false breakout to entice sellers in. More liquidity gets piled in on top, right? And then it runs that and then it comes down. But yeah, I mean, look, you could just try trading the breakout of the low, but there's always the risk that it's going to come back into the high. See here, look, it breaks. Okay, here's the thing. Look, it breaks through the low. And you think that's going to go, so you sell, but then look what happened. It trades back up to the high of the value range, comes down to the low. People think it's going to sell. They'd probably be shorting on that, and then it runs, stops get taken out. Right, so that's the risk if you buy when it breaks out of value like this, chasing that, and then it just turns around and hunts your stop. Right, that's what it's engineered to do, guys. And I mean, yeah, can that just continue on? It, of course it can. And that's the trick, you know, like you get all FOMO excited about that. You FOMO in, and then next thing you know, how many times, here's the thing, how many times have you seen price breakout and you go, oh yeah, there's the breakout. I'm going to buy that. And then it's turned around and traded all the way back up to your stop loss. Too many times. I've been there too many times, right? So just be careful when you see it pushing out. Well, that's the thing, a fear of missing out. So you buy. I mean, you sell there, and it's difficult to discipline yourself to wait. You know, like say, if your strategy is you're just waiting for that value area, like in the opposite side of that value range, taken out, and then the reclaim back into value like that, in a trend, in a higher time frame trend. I mean, that's wow. You know, you want to get involved with that. All right, so look, that's a bit of a thing. Just understand you've got this fair value gap here. You've got this strong resistance above. You're trading down through, yeah. And what are we now? We are heading into, Asian sessions kind of winding up. We're heading into London soon. So, we could see it pull back. I would wait for the London session, see if you get a pullback and then it turns around, right? And then wait for that. Just it trends up and then it trends down, just like this. It trends up and then it breaks structure. Okay, so I mean, easy to sort of say that in hindsight. Yeah, that's what you got to try to look for. Anyway, guys, that's my take on Bitcoin, and I'd love it if you comment. Let me know what your thoughts are. I would be looking for this structural shift, possibly here, possible sell. So all right, so we trade back up and then we head back down again. Okay, we look for that. Exactly the same thing here. That kind of thing. Yeah. And just yeah, that's it, guys. I've got somebody yelling in a thing in the background. I'm going to wrap it up. With that, have a great day, and I'll see you in the next one.